Let's talk about Apple's new lockdown mode. What's up, everybody? This is your boy Tech G back with another video. And in this video, we're going to be talking about Apple's lockdown mode that they just released to protect people's phones from state-sponsored hackers. Now, I just did a video yesterday talking about how state-sponsored hacking is big business. And as you can see, technology companies like Apple are taking this thing a little bit serious by introducing new features to help you completely lock down your phone in the event that you are worried about somebody trying to spy on you. All right. But before we get into all that, make sure you hit the like button, share button, subscribe button, and also go sign up for a channel membership so you can begin your illustrious career in IT and cybersecurity. All right. So now let's check out this article. All right. So Apple introduces lockdown mode to protect iPhones from state-sponsored hacking. If you don't know what state-sponsored hacking is, you can learn that in my Security Plus class by getting you a membership where I talk about all this stuff. But state-sponsored hacking is basically hackers who are supported by their governments, who basically get the green light to go hack people. That's what state-sponsored hacking is. Since Apple announced a new feature for iPhones called lockdown mode on Wednesday to protect high-profile users, such as politicians and activists, against state-sponsored hackers. Lockdown mode turns off several features on the iPhone in order to make it less vulnerable to spyware by significantly reducing the number of features that attackers can access and potentially hack. Specifically, it disables many preview features in iMessage, limits JavaScript on a Safari browser, prevents new configuration profiles from being installed, blocks wired connections, which therefore prevents the device's data from being copied, and shuts down incoming Apple services requests, including FaceTime. So pretty much, you no longer have a smartphone if you lock this thing down. You just have a regular phone. Says the tech giant will pay up to $2 million to researchers who find a security flaw in lockdown mode. The announcement comes months after revelations that state-sponsored hackers had the ability to hack recent model iPhones with zero-click attacks distributed through text messages. And these attacks can be successful even if the victim does not click on the link. I'm telling you guys time and time again, these links will get you in trouble, but apparently now you don't even have to click on the links. Just the mere fact that it came to your phone is enough for somebody to gain access to your phone to spy on you. It says the iPhone maker has faced increasing calls from governments to address the issue. In March, U.S. lawmakers pressed Apple about attack details, including whether it could detect them, how many have been discovered, and when and where they occurred. Says most hackers are financially motivated, and most malware is designed to make a user give up valuable information like a password or give the attacker access to financial accounts. But the state-sponsored attacks that lockdown mode are targeting are different. They employ very expensive tools sold directly to law enforcement agencies or sovereign governments and use undiscovered bugs to gain a foothold into the iPhone's operating system. From there, the attackers can do things like control its microphone and camera and steal the user's browsing and communications history. So for those of you out there who like looking at things you're not supposed to be looking at, you might be worried. Since lockdown mode is intended for the small number of people who think they may be targeted by a state-sponsored hacker and need an extreme level of security. Victims targeted by military-grade spyware include journalists, human rights activists, and business executives. According to the Washington Post, spyware has also allegedly been used to target public officials, including a French minister and Catalan separatist leaders in Spain. It says, while the vast majority of users will never be the victims of highly targeted cyber attacks, we will work tirelessly to protect the small number of users who are. So here's a screenshot of what it looks like to go into lockdown mode. So basically you just come into your settings, privacy and security, lockdown mode, click the button, and bam, you're on lockdown mode, and it gives you a list of everything that has now been disabled, essentially turning your smartphone back into a regular dumb phone or just a regular phone. So let's talk about Pegasus. So there are several types of mercenary spyware, but the best known version is Pegasus, which was developed by NSO Group in Israel. Recently, researchers at the University of Toronto and Amnesty International have discovered and documented versions of this kind of spyware targeting iPhones. Says NSO Group has previously said that its technology is used lawfully by governments to fight pedophiles and terrorists. NSO Group is disliked by big tech companies, especially Apple, which markets its devices as more secure than the competition. And Apple sued NSO Group last year, saying that it is malicious and that it damaged Apple's business. Facebook's parent company Meta is also suing NSO Group over its alleged efforts to hack the WhatsApp. Since last November, the U.S. Commerce Department blacklisted NSO Group, preventing U.S. companies from working with it. One of the strongest measures the U.S. government can take to strike at foreign companies. Apple says the vast majority of the 1 billion iPhone users will never be targeted. Mercenary spyware like Pegasus can cost hundreds of millions of dollars, according to Apple. So the tools are valuable and are only used to target a small number of users. Once new versions of spyware are discovered, Apple patches the bugs that they use, making the original exploits ineffective and forcing vendors like NSO Group to reconfigure how their tools work. It says lockdown mode will not be on by default, but can be turned on from inside the iPhone settings with a single tap. It will also be available for iPads and Macs. And the new feature will be available for testing on a beta version of iOS this week before its planned wide release in the fall. All right, folks. So there you have it. For those of you out there and you are constantly worrying about somebody spying on you through your phone, well, now you have an option to essentially turn your smartphone back into a regular phone, courtesy of iPhone's lockdown mode. Now, understand this option is merely meant for people who may have legit reasons to believe people are spying on them. And some of those people were listed in the article, such as business executives and activists and some people out there committing acts that are deemed criminal. Those people probably should have a reason to worry that their phones might be getting tapped and or spied on. But for the average, everyday, regular Joe who likes to shop on Amazon and watch YouTube videos and look at Netflix, you probably don't have anything to worry about. Yes, your phone probably is listening to you, courtesy of Siri, which is why when you open up a social media app and you see ads running for something that you just talked about, but beyond that, you probably don't have anything to worry about because you're just, a regular average Joe out there living your life, paying your taxes, doing what you do. Right? So this probably isn't going to be a big deal for most of y'all, and you're probably not even going to notice that feature at all. But if you do want to turn your smartphone back into a quote unquote regular phone, you now have that option to do so. So that's pretty much it on this story, ladies and gentlemen. I really just wanted to highlight this story to basically not necessarily focus on the iPhone's new feature, but to remind you about these state-sponsored hackers that are out there that are doing all this crazy stuff all over the place, to the point where companies like Apple have to create these features in order to deter some of these state-sponsored hackers from spying on so-called high-profile people. So I found that aspect rather interesting. Now, what I also think you'll find rather interesting is if you go ahead and hit the like button, share button, drop a comment, and subscribe to this channel, and also go sign up for a TechG membership so that you can begin your career in IT and cybersecurity, so you can go out there and learn about these concepts such as state-sponsored hackers to see what all the fuss is really about. Because in this day and age, we need cybersecurity professionals out there doing what they do, protecting the systems from the state-sponsored hackers and the script kiddies and everybody else in between. So that being said, I'll holler at you all on the next video. Peace.